Hey, peeps!
Blessings, everyone. Happy Friday. We have some amazing news to share with you. Yeah, it's Friday, and it's New Moon Day, so there's a lot of energies going on.
Actually, we have we've got peeps flying in from out of town, really good, amazing beings that we're going to spend the rest of the day starting to do mind and heart mapping. So we're going to be for the next 24 hours. So we wanted to be able to touch base with you guys, tell you some of the exciting news and the different things that are coming up and coming through. And obviously we're going to share on the energy of abundance and go deep into that with our groups and our programs too. So if you guys are in those, then be ready to, after this live, be able to jump in there and go deep on that much further. And then we're going to be heart mapping and mind mapping for like 24 hours straight. We're so excited. We got people on the way. Yes. And look, we trained everyone. We love the hearts. We now they just get on and they're like, heart.
Fantastic.
Mwah.
We love you. We love
you guys. Awesome, epic.
Yes. So on the energy of abundance, we're going to talk about that in our groups here in a little bit on Marci Locklass group, right?
My Locklass and my Foundation's peeps get access to
right
all these extra downloads and things and awesomeness.
And everybody in the Miracle Matrix program, you'll get a taste of this as well. And especially for those of you who are coming to our event next weekend, the Dominator Experience Workshop.
Holy fucking snap, I'm so excited.
This is where you're really going to learn how to apply the energy of abundance to your life, because we're going to have these amazing ambassadors from Dominator, Espiride, and Yomo. This is Yomo's first time to America, to the United States, and especially to California, and we are so blessed to have them, as well as this new upgrade on the venue that we have.
Yeah, holy fuck.
Holy
Well, this is just how it works with us. Even like our Elite Remembrance Dominator retreat has become greater and greater and greater and greater. It's like so mind expanding for what the peeps get. Because we always believe in under promise and over deliver, because of course we live in authenticity and integrity to what we do. So it's like, this is what you're getting. And then we're like, and that's the same thing that's happening with our 2-day. Like from all this additional sound healing to all the additional activation stuff that we get to do, portal openings. So activating so many individuals that can't even be in a space to come to Europe. And this is why, guys, we're really doing this out of like, I mean, fuck, for the cost, I mean, it's like $198 to get online with us and get the live stream for 2 whole days, this whole process, getting all the activation, being a part of it, everything. You can use that anytime. So if the dates don't work for you, it's graduation weekend, etc., get the online live stream and then be able to go through it and get all this activation. And then to come with us and be in person with us, $750. To be with 2 ambassadors from Dominator that are like worldwide known experts, and us, where we're adding all of our integration, all of our stuff for $750. The reason we're doing it for that low is because we want as many people to participate as possible.
And to really feel and know what this energy of abundance is, because we're living proof of it. The synchronicities, the magic, the miracles are constantly in flow in our life. Just like, you know, the upgrade to having Alex and the sound bowl, and to having the venue be upgraded. There's so many things that keep on coming that's better than we could imagine, and that's what we're talking about. And we're going to go into that real deep here in our private group soon. And so I just want to say, this is why, I mean, we have such a passion for activating as many individuals as possible. This is why those of you that know me and have followed me, in the last 1.5 years is when I got the download that it was like, it's time to serve the masses. And that's when everything shifted to, I attracted a documentary being made in my life, my book launching, shifting all my programs to be available from, you know, as low as $100 up to, you know, like online programs, getting access to all my stuff that wasn't available before. Only in my high-level masterminds and the peeps that I work with, up to $1 million, because we know that it is through unity consciousness and through uniting in oneness that we raise humanity to this greater understanding and frequency that then allows us to get rid of poverty, get rid of you know, lack, scarcity, fear, diseases, sicknesses, all of those things. So the energy of abundance is definitely one of those things that we, you know, one of my downloads in Colombia, I told you about this. I got billionaire consciousness downloads in Colombia, was that I got to now fund and create more projects in Africa to shift the slavery consciousness in Africa. And that's part of us aligning to, the more that we activate, guys, and we align to this energy,
money is like breathing air. That's something that I'll dive into with my groups. Money is like breathing air. It is available everywhere. It is just an energy if you're not aligned to that energy. So it's like you don't have a hard time breathing air, yet you create a hard time breathing or, creating money. That is because of the disconnect internally inside you. And so the more that we activate this remembrance inside you, you're just like, of course I'm fucking worthy. What feels good? And and it just is received, and it's just available everywhere, just like air. So we'll dive into some of that as well.
Just like air, yes. And I see a lot of this come up actually too, and that you're talking about breath. Breath is our life force. We're holding hands.
Nobody can see all the love down here going on.
Yeah. Hi, honey, I love you.
You walked by me last night in the kitchen. I totally pussy checked her. I was like, love you, babe. You're like, well, that was fun.
That was fun. How you doing?
How you doing? We could go off into sexual energy creation too. We really want to do.
As part of abundance.
Is an aspect of money. Yes. No wonder that came
That's
up.
what I was going to talk to you. What to talk about actually is the energy and life force of breath, right? And you were talking about breathing. Well, guess what? Some people are such shallow breathers. They're only breathing in this much of their lung capacity, when really we have the capacity to inhale and breathe in the life force energy of that kind of abundance, right? So again, it comes to. I saw that. I think everybody could see that. So it's just going to come out.
You know what?
Around
it's
this
just
one.
so
It just
much
happens.
fun.
It's
See,
good.
around this one.
Around this one. I love it.
I'll claim that. I'll take it
absolutely.
any day.
Yeah, it's like, bring out more of this, please.
That's right. That's why they either love me or hate me. They're
That's
just like,
why.
oh!
Exactly.
And they run.
Like,
and rejection equals protection. But they're like, oh, I loved it. They don't give a fuck. And they're so fun. That's exactly it.
Oh, and living in the authenticity that we do also attracts the energy of abundance.
Well, these are
just some of the tools that we're going to be teaching and going really deep into.
It's the embodiment of it. The embodiment of you love yourself so much. It's none of my business what you think of me, because it's only my business what I think about myself. And I give myself permission to have an epic, awesome, fuck yes life. Yeah. And so it's like when you're living and embodying that, and I mean, we do ceremony almost every day, literally, which is like, we do ceremonies to connect to and clear before meditation, etc., and ask for the divine frequencies and ask to receive the beings looking for the love and light, and to ask for all these things. And we're constantly we're aligning. I know, love you guys. We're aligning to being and embodying that remembrance, because then, and some of you might have experienced, if you're so closed off, maybe you don't even know that you're feeling something inside you, and experiencing that when we talk about these things, you feel it in your being, and there's something going on. There's this, and so it's like, even as we talk about and we ask for our divine breath and expression to be to the power of our words to transmit a frequency to the planet and the multiverse, that it literally, you feel the call to your own divine remembrance, and you feel that surge of something that's saying, hey, I get to have greater, and I'm worthy of greater, and feeling that call. But we can only be it by embodying it. And when you see it, and hopefully give yourself permission as well to start on that process and move forward to embody it yourself. And so these are the ways that just even taking it an inch at a time, to step, I always say inch by inch, life is a cinch, and yard by yard, it's hard. And I teach my peeps in my Lock Glass program, they start with like the simple Lock Glass formula to start implementing it in every area of their life, that their life becomes epic and awesome. But it's like, just taking an inch is all we're focused on. You look up and all of a sudden you've got a fucking mile, and you're like, wow, I want a mile. But if you're like, oh, let me look at the big picture and all this activation and this, and maybe you're experiencing, you're like, I don't have the money for that or this, and you're seeing all the limitations, and you're looking at it like this, you're shut down and you can't even move. And just bring it back and be able to, join us on that's why we created this. It's such a low fucking cost.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
Yes. I have one other thing I want to go off on, too.
Yes.
Well, and this is the other thing that I'm realizing for all of our peeps. Like, we live in Encinitas. We live in, San Diego, in the conscious community, where all these beautiful...
We do live in a bubble.
We live in a bubble of paradise and awesomeness, and where all the conscious people are like drawn in, that are all into, they don't give a fuck what you're up to, because everything's okay.
Because they give a shit. They love their life so much. They care. They may not care about all of that, but they care so much about, and that's like us in our life, and we care so much about what we're sharing and expressing and living. And that's why people are so inspired by you and your message and your work and how you express yourself.
You too, gorgeous.
Thanks, baby. So
more hearts.
For all the love. So that's again, going back to what we're teaching, what we're here to share, and that's how we really get to exponentialize the abundance energy. Again, is the more that we get to share about it, the more that you can apply these tools as well in your life. And it's not just abundance for prosperity, even though that's where most people are focused. This is abundance, which the word actually, I call it abundance. So you do like abundance, the abundance, right? You play with it, you love it, you have that kind of
that
joy.
Energy of play is the energy of receiving.
Yes.
This is why the sexual energy is a big ass part of your money creation.
It is. So it has to do with abundance in health, abundance in energy, abundance in your mindset, in you know, that which you allow to receive in your life, and
which is all your ability to receive. Because I always say, money issues, if you're struggling with money, it's not because of money, it's your inability to receive, which we'll dive into.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about that a lot more here in our classes, and then of course again in the 2-day next weekend, because we have these amazing ambassadors from Dom and Her, Espiride and Yomo, who are going to talk about the physics and the energy and get into a lot of the science around the frequencies of these different aspects that we're talking about in abundance. And then you'll have the two of us teaching you these skills of really implementing and integrating it in a life where you may not be able to live in a bubble environment such as Dom and Her and Sanitas or San Diego or whatever, because there are a lot of people out there that, you know, they're still in corporate and conventional, in the societal norms that need more tools on how to create their own bubble and sacred space in their home and in their life and environment. So that's where the abundance comes in. And just if we can share just one simple tip with you, you get a bonus on this one. One of the biggest points in receiving is knowing what in your life is time for you to let go of and be done with.
It's to destroy to create, which I want to talk about with our groups too, because that's a big part of, I mean, as my up-leveling has happened, and also teaching them what gets to be destroyed, so then you open up the energy that aligns to creating something greater. You can't have both. You can't serve two masters. You can't think negative thoughts and create an awesome epic life. So yes, we'll definitely dive into that. And my point being around us living in a bubble was saying how there's still all these conscious, amazing beings that really, what we're finding is they've only been able to go so far. It's just like a lot of the peeps that I end up coaching, a lot of the badass men around the world that have gone from like the warrior that's fought through it and got to like the king level, and yet they're still in some sort of fight, and we get to take them to flow consciousnness and being in like this divine ability to just effortlessly have what they want. Well, it's the same thing I see with the conscious community, in that they've gone to this level of like, I've done all the programs, I've done all the seminars, I've done all these deep spiritual healings, I've done a lot of ceremonies, etc.
Right. Yes.
But nobody has ever fucking got into DNA activation and doing the portal openings,
awakening.
Yeah, extremely, like all this stuff that has never been available, it's never been talked about. And that is now what we're sharing. And so that's why, even to be able to start here on the 2-day and get a lot of this activation, and then to be able to go with us to Dom and Her, if that's something that calls to you, to be able to go and have all that self-healing and all those life things. And then we have several retreats that are going to be showing up for next year as well. Do you have a question?
Yeah, where do we sign up for the upcoming 2-day class? So if you, we will tag the event here on the live stream, as well as it's on both of our pages. We love you, Jeff. And if you can also search for
several of my programs, and then Goddess,
and
he
awesome.
lost, like, he did it too. They're epic. They're awesome.
Yeah,
so,
baby, way to go.
Yes.
Then you can go to if you even search for the Dom and Her Experience Workshop on Facebook, it'll pop up immediately if you want to search for it and get your tickets right now. And we are working actually in just a couple hours here to make sure that all the live stream sign-up capabilities are live and ready to go. So we'll post that for you as soon as that's ready. As well, and then we're gonna give people here in a couple days. We'll be teasing you a little bit more with some of these awesome gifts that you get to experience
so many more
next
gifts
weekend.
and things have come up for sure. But yeah, but definitely, if you guys are interested in the activation as well, and that's why I said, even for all of our conscious, amazing peeps, that it's like, okay, well, I've done as much as I can in all this ceremonial type space. Right. There's so much more available to you. I had so much up level in my own journey, my own understanding, and activating the dormant parts of me, by being able to go through this, opening the portals and talking about the inner senses. And real quick, just if you want to share even like some of the stuff that Espiride is going to dive into that helps you understand, it's the science behind magic, your inner senses, and how you're meant to operate. Just like in some way, like I've taught people how they're meant to operate to like manifest like this. This is going like a whole nother level of understanding.
Okay, so many of you, especially if you're my clients or students, you know that one of my specialties is cellular regeneration. Now, Espiride and at Dom and Her, and what Falco transmission and brought from Spirit was not just cellular regeneration, which is what our clients will get to experience on the retreat with us, but anti-aging in your sleep. This is one of the topics that is another bonus beyond like better than you can imagine, is how you can use the selfic technology and energy to actually not just, you know, prevent stuff or whatever, but really anti-aging or reverse aging or whatever you want to call it, that is part of the energetic cellular regeneration that she's not only going to
keep looking younger,
right?
She looks amazing.
She looks so young. She is. Yeah. It's just this. You become ageless when you align yourself to the energy of all these higher dimensional frequencies, including that of abundance and joy.
Because it's not fear or lack or scarcity or any bullshit. You're literally just light. And if you heard the live that we did the other day, where I actually read out of the Gene Keys, well, that one, if you guys haven't heard that one, go back in my timeline or on this Facebook link that we're going to share with you. There's a 20-25 minute video that we did interviewing a Spirit Day where you can hear and understand more of what's going to happen. Holy fuck. It's like, everyone is like, oh my God, how do I was even like, I want more. And I went to Europe and I've done a lot of this and we're doing so much more as we go back again.
Right.
And it just was like, wow, we just have never even known that this was available, and it is. And that's what I felt like in Europe. I was like, oh my God, how does the world not know that they have this available to them for self healing and all this like cellular regeneration? It's like, literally, it's like I got an entire body, what's that, the microtractor, an entire body, almost like stem cell regeneration.
Yeah.
Literally
like energetic stem cells is kind of how that energy
and
works.
transmuting the intelligence of a cell that works into a cell that isn't working. It's just like, what? And of course, this isn't known for us in you know, our society or in Western medicine, etc. And that's just a part of the healing opportunities. That's not even what's going into portal activation and opening up your dormant DNA and your pineal gland, which gives you all of your more of your capabilities. And I mean, it's like, I literally, some of the stuff that I did in Europe, I remember feeling like I had worn a helmet my whole life. Like, if you do this to yourself and talk, this is what as soon as all these things happened to me, it felt like I just went,
it's like you've been underwater and all of a sudden you're up above, fish out of water.
Yeah, and I was like, holy fuck, that's how I was living. I was living in that. It's almost like when I got contacts for the first time before I even got, you know, fixed my eyes.
Yep.
I remember the first time being like, I can see the leaves on the trees and I can see the grass. I had no idea that was there. I just would look like a big green blur, where it's like these, you keep upgrading and allowing yourself to activate what has always been a part of you. You're a superhero, you're a super genius, you're super, you know, super all these things.
Being of love.
Yes. And so in our interview the other day, not only the one with Asperity, epic and awesome, definitely catch that, but we did an interview before that. One day you and I just jumped on and shared, and I was actually reading out of Gene Keys,
right from it,
the understanding of why the more we activate in our DNA to be activated with light and be able to receive light energy is how we can operate and magnify in this illuminescence and then transmute this frequency to simply receive more love and light. And it just, it's like, it's scientific proof and evidence right there, yet we, you know, haven't taken advantage of it.
In Gene Keys, they can talk about it, you can read about it, you can like think about it and everything else.
It's a contemplation.
But how do you actually apply it and bring it into your daily life? How do you take this and change, right? Because the ultimate and only constant in the universe is change itself. Yep. So once we like step up to that evolutionary process in our own life, then we get to see change as a really positive, good, amazing, brilliant thing to destroy that and recreate this. Destroy that, recreate this. And it's just a constant flow, and that's where we get to create more abundance, more joy, more health, more everything in our life that we feel, or some people may feel, stifled from or held back from. So many people, like you were talking about plant medicine and ceremonies that people are kind of going a little off on right now a lot, and it's, they have an experience and then they're left there.
That's why the integration is so important, that we're going to be adding to it.
We're bringing that integration to you.
All that stuff with you. But this is what I want to say
and keep that connection.
Yeah. So and for a lot of you, for a lot of you that are maybe beginners in it too, it's like trying to go through that path of understanding the mindset connection, the belief connections, all these things that we get to shift and change to be able to get there. And what we're telling you is there's actually, I mean, I feel like when I created my program, it was like the 20 years of inner work that I did, and it's like, here's the gift, you get to see it all now. You get to, and it's just going through those processes and shifting into those alignments and allowing this to be you, that then it becomes you. But I'm like, that took me 20 years of discovery and understanding, and it was my journey to then gift you and how to create this experience. And now I feel like, wow, the gifts just keep getting greater to make it so much more effortless for humanity that we literally have this where it's like, here's some activation. Bing, you're turned on. All of a sudden you're like, wait, that vibration that old pattern and belief and identity just doesn't apply anymore because it just doesn't feel in alignment with me. And so, you know what? I pull up to the next thing and I allow myself to go into the next thing because I just got turned on and activated. We're saying this is how easy it can be by now receiving these activations within you that then you align to these frequencies versus going through the same struggle of going down the path of I'm doing the thing over and over and over and over and over again to try to change the neural pathway, to change my perception about it and my belief about it and my feeling about it and the pattern that I'm operating. We actually can reverse it. So here's an analogy. A lot of people, I'll get even personal clients. I've had personal clients in the past who are like known as like some of the top internet marketers and they're like, Marci, how do you do emails? And I'm like, I don't do emails. And they're like, Marci, just like that. Yeah. How do you do newsletters or this or that? All these things. How do you do ads? I don't do ads. I don't do what normal society does. And I make, quadruple and I'm getting the result from it. And they're always like, how is that possible? Because my internal system is aligned to receive. And so, and I always have taught people always start and they're striving so hard and my association to this is like people a lot of times in business go, well, I got to get out and make that email list and I got to do this and I got to build all these people, and you strive so hard to create all these people and just
to try to make it happen.
Just for eventually, maybe 6 months down the road, they'll go, maybe okay, I'll spend $25 with you because maybe I like you enough to do that. And then 6 months later, maybe I'll spend $49 with you. Meanwhile, you're starving. And I always like, why the fuck do we do that? Why would you put your value out there? And again, now we're going into money stuff, which we'll go into later. But you put your value out there. And so for me, it's like I chose to work with high-level clients, high-level masterminds, do my high-level retreats because it's like I know what the fuck I do. I know what transmutes and changes for these people, and when they invest in themselves at that level to be able to do that, they come out and they catapult. Yeah. And that is worth a high level value.
Absolutely.
And then
you can't email that.
No. And then so what happened along the way, of course, because now I'm living in abundance, life is epic and awesome, I keep up leveling. Then it's like I get invited to things. I remember it was a year ago, I got invited to be in one of the events, it's invite only for the top 100 internet marketers of the world. They invited me as one of the top 100 internet marketers in the world. And they didn't know I had no fucking email list. They were like, I just assume because you're so big and you have all this and they literally all came to me and was like,
what system
we want to sell your stuff. We want to sell your stuff. Some of the biggest people worldwide known with millions on their email list asked if they could sell my stuff. And it didn't matter that I didn't have an email list or we weren't doing because again, I provide the value, I set my own value, so then they were like, we want to do that. Did I have to go the route that everyone else went of taking all the years to build the email list to this? So what I'm saying is, it's bass backwards. And you now can see in this same thing, we're saying you can activate yourself. You can open up your DNA. You can do these things, and then you can learn and we can integrate into what are the exact patterns and the behaviors and the programs that are operating that keep you aligned to this frequency and keep up leveling that versus what everyone else is doing where let's just do the mindset fuck over and over and over again.
Have an experience and then forget about it.
2 to 3 days and then on Monday I'm going to be triggered as fuck and I'm going to go right into my same sabotaging patterns because I don't know how to do anything different. I was just aware that I was doing it and that's what we talked about. That was epic and awesome.
What does that change?
That's what everyone else is doing and it doesn't produce long lasting results. So we want to give you guys the stuff that does. So again,
absolutely works.
Yes.
Right. And this is we're living proof of it. Our students and clients are living proof of it. Mm-hmm. I mean, my rock star from Charlie from the UK came out, and he had a set goal for himself of what the retreat and what this experience was going to bring for him, and he was going to be cool with that. Well, when we broke through that and busted through
again, under promise, over deliver,
right, and better than he could possibly imagine, right, blew down every door of expectation or challenge or conditional ideas that he possibly thought, and now he's living in the absolute essence rather than just talking about it, right? It goes into that mentality of mindset, fake it till you make it thing. You can't fake it. This is real deal or not at all.
Yeah. Because, and this is the challenge behind that. See the bullshit surface self-empowerment we taught? Fake it till you make it. Well, guess what you're doing? All you're doing is exuding a vibration of inauthenticity.
You're lying to yourself and everybody else.
And there's an understanding to create what you want and allow yourself to be in alignment with that and to be aiming towards where you want to go. Yet there's a fine line between, I'm just going to tell people a bullshit lie. Like, it's like I'd get all these people that, all these coaches that would apply for my program that were broke. And yet what they were doing online was they're business coaches. Telling people they're making over 6 figures and I was like, well, no wonder you're not making any fucking money. You're out of alignment.
It doesn't work that way.
You're not in authenticity. Yeah, exactly. And did I even tell you, my latest $1 million client, she 4 times her income in 1 month.
Oh, yes, I know.
Right.
Go, cat.
Right. Yep. See, that's what happens.
Living proof.
When you go into the internal stuff and you get to shift it. So yeah,
that's the biggest message really for you to understand, is that this isn't just an experience or just an event or just, you know, something that we're going to talk about. This is activating yourself to live in that consciousness and not sway out of it. Hearts, we love you. And it's not an experience of just, you know, a ceremony or whatever, a day. This is something where this is going to be ingrained into your cells, into your brain,
activated,
into your actions going forward from here on out, so that you too can know what it feels like to live and be that living example of synchronicities, of miracles, of abundance. All of that is what we get to teach you, and what you can experience next weekend. Well, all the time with us, but especially next weekend because of the guests that we have to teach us this incredible education.
Super cool. Super excited. So we'll attach the link. Definitely catch the little video we did with the Spare Day so you can get a little bit more information on what it's about.
And let's mention that upgrade. Okay, Kathy's house is the Bliss Mansion. Of anybody in the area that knows about the Bliss Mansion in Encinitas, we are so blessed to be at Bliss. Thank you, Kathy.
We're going to the Bliss.
Thank you, everybody.
Because we are pleasure junkies.
We are.
Pleasure junkies, only the best. We're just waiting for the best thing to align to us. And
and it was literally just last night, come here, do this, meet that.
We're like, that's even better than what we were thinking, so yes.
Upgrades only.
Yep, that's what we continue to receive. So, and obviously we got sound healing. We've got so many things, guys. So check out the Facebook page. We'll send you that link on the comments below, and we will.
We look forward to seeing you there. And if not, if you can't make it to the live event, then we will be sending you all kinds of love online from the live stream, and we'll be able to also respond to questions. So know that if you're on the live stream, that means that you are participating and interacting with us lifetime, real time. So we'll have someone there. We have an amazing video, audio team that we're working with. Total pros on the live stream.
Amazing support team. My team's flying in just to be there and assist and support and give lots of love. My team's amazing. So all that good stuff. And so again, remember that you can, if you can't make those dates for any reason, please get the online live stream, and then that means you'll get the recordings and you can go through it later when it works for you, so you can have access to all this activation. So
and you can you will want to replay this, especially for all the portal activations, the meditations, the sound bowl healing. I mean, this 2-hour video, I was feeling into it. I mean, 2-day video. This is like a retreat experience. It is, and to get it and access to it and all that, I know. Yeah, it's an incredible. We're just doing it for as many people as we can. We get to share this with you. You get to share what you learn with everyone in your life, and that's how the abundance will just keep on flowing. Okay, love you guys. We're going to be jumping in on my groups in just a little bit and going deep diving into the energy of abundance, all sorts of good stuff. So for those of you that are in my groups, then jump on in and be aware we'll be jumping on there soon. Love you guys. Love you there. Bye, babes.